Bigger screen, mesmerizing design, all-day battery life. That's the three main feature pitches of Vivo's biggest sibling in their Y series of smartphones, the Y31. But the real question is, did they execute it very well, or there will be some major reservations in getting this phone? Hey guys, James here, and this is Tech M.N.O. Here's my full review of the Vivo Y31. Before we start the review, if you want to check out my unboxing and first impressions video for this phone, you can check it out right here, or I will link it in the video description. This review video was shot following almost 3 weeks of using and testing this smartphone. Also, this is not sponsored by Vivo. All of the things I will say here are mine only, and they didn't have any inputs or early preview in this video. If you're new to the channel and if you like this kind of review, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button to get you notified when a brand new video will come out. We also have a giveaway that you can check out right here or in the description. And finally, you can follow me on all of my social media accounts at TechM.No. Alright, let's go ahead with our review. We will start with the design and build of the phone. Like I mentioned in the unboxing, the ocean blue color of the Vivo Y31 here is stunning. It's always a head turner and a crowd pleaser that really resonates the millennial feel that Vivo is really targeted with. They really nailed how to combine colors that's loud and gender inclusive with its chic, stylish, and youth-oriented designs, in my opinion. The phone is grippy enough that you can carry and use this one-handed for those who have medium to large hands. It's also comfortable to hold even though there's a huge battery here. The buttons are tactile and the power button fingerprint scanner combo is great and responsive to my presses. Just be aware that there might be some instances that you may accidentally press it if the fingerprint unlock method is in touch mode and if you will put it in your pockets. The Vivo Y31 has a polycarbonate plastic back and has a slightly thick chin on the display frame, and still uses a notch rather than a punch hole. For me, I will forgive Vivo in this matter because I saw much worse smartphone displays with bigger chins and plastic backs that are expected in this price range. I really love the frosted matte gradient finish on the phone's back here, but it's still a shocker for me up until now that it's still a smudge and fingerprint magnet, as you can see here. I need to wipe down every time when I'm shooting this for B-roll to make it elegant and have it in pristine condition on the frame. I wish they would use more matte coating to avoid it. Yeah. The display is bright and readable even in direct sunlight, and it's also eye-friendly at night because it can go a little dim too, plus you can avoid it too much blue light thanks to its eye protection feature. And for display and tech nerds out there, this phone has a P3 wide color gamut display that brings a much broader color space compared to the other standards like sRGB. In other words that average users will understand, it is vibrant, punchy, and color accurate even though it's only an IPS LCD. But there's one major gripe I learned when I got this phone that I should address it now to you. Is there's no display protection on the screen like Gorilla Glass or even a Dragon Trail glass on this phone. Even though there's a pre-installed screen protector, I'm still wondering why they omit this on the Vivo Y31 because even though if the display is great with wide color tech gamut, if the screen will crack, it will be useless. So I highly suggest investing in a tempered glass protector and have at least a very good phone case. Also, my random nitpick here, Vivo should have a high refresh rate on this phone since other brands in this price range have at least 90Hz on the screen, may be forgivable. While the Vivo Y31's performance is powered with the Snapdragon 662 chipset that can be found on some phones like the Redmi 9T, this phone's RAM starts at 8GB of RAM, which is for me a heaven sent. I personally own a Poco M3, which is, I will compare this to the Vivo Y31 for the future video. It only has a 4GB of RAM, and I can feel the lagginess and sluggishness even if I just casually use it for phone, for social media, or play games. Casual usage on the Vivo Y31 is smooth, and it can still remember the apps I use in the background, including games, thanks to its bigger RAM. However, heavy usage like gaming, it's only good at its maximum potential because of the Adreno 610 GPU. Some games I test in this phone are having some lag and frame drops like from some of my sessions on Asphalt 9, Call of Duty Mobile, and the King of Fighters All-Star. So if you will use this solely for mobile games, you should look for some phones with at least Snapdragon 700 series or MediaTek Dimensity 800 series of chipsets. Like I mentioned in my first impressions video for the Y31, Vivo's FunTouch OS 11 on top of Android 11 has really evolved to much cleaner, lighter, and stock-like Android skin in the market now. BBK really listens to the complaints of their users, that's noticeably here, and it somewhat grows on me. Yeah. However, while I praise them for being a cleaner UI now compared to its last versions, there's an exception to it, and that's bloatware, which is still a problem to them ever since they started out selling phones before. Yes, aside from the Google apps that's half usable, half trash, I can forgive a brand UI skin if they put their own set of apps that's usable, like their iManager, themes, and their own music app. But having 5 bloatwares like hot apps, hot games, and a very own Vivo App Store as an example are questionable and rudely trashy. And a much weirder thing here, if you long press on the hot apps icon and check the app info, it's under a V App Store backbone. Like, what? Vivo, if you're watching this video, you're already there, okay? I'm already loving your new UI. But please, for the love of tech gods, minimize your goddamn bloatware or give us an option to uninstall it. Please. Moving on, there's a headphone jack that's available on the Y31, but Vivo has nothing special, provided it like high-res audio codec on the port, but it's understandable here. The single firing speaker on this phone is decent and loud enough, and it also has an audio booster mode to enhance the volume of the speaker using a software-based algorithm. Even though it's enabled, there's still nothing special or exciting about this audio performance. Better yet, use a Bluetooth speaker or the headphone jack in that matter.
What I forgot is better than whatever they remember. Never mind, I'm off it. It's quiet phone.
Other things worth noting here, dual band Wi-Fi is available, Bluetooth 5 is stable, and it only has LTE band support. I really wish that the phone has 5G bands ready in this price range, but it's a forgivable omission here in my honest opinion, since not all cities and provinces here in the Philippines doesn't have 5G in their area yet. Alright, time to evaluate its triple camera setup. And to be transparent also, the camera performance here was taken with the FunTouch OS version number 11.1.12.1. Wow, that's a lot of numbers. Anyways, just a quick refresher, it has a 48 megapixel main shooter with face detection autofocus and electronic image stabilization, or IES for short, plus the twin and pesky 2 megapixel camera for depth and macro. Seriously, this filler camera needs to stop. In my honest opinion here, instead of that thing, they should put an ultra-wide camera at this price range. Daytime shots on the Vivo Y31 are good here. It's vibrant, punchy, clear, and color accurate. But of course, there are some areas that needs improvements. Some photos here are a little bit grainy, and the HDR shots had some problems with its saturation. It also has a 48 megapixel mode. Even though it has great results, it's nothing great and it'll take a lot of storage space if you will use it. Photos with little to no lighting are sometimes a bit muddy and the colors are a little washed out, but it still has a good amount of details on the final photo results. Night mode is available, but results are a mixed bag. It pushes the brightness up, but there's some artifacts that are still washed out and noisy. Better yet, use a pro mode for it, but you need a tripod or have a better hand stability to have a better, clearer shots. Rear camera videos that are maxed out at 1080p 30 frames per second are good, but I see much better at this price range. Vlogging on this phone can be a possibility, but you need to set some expectations. It has IES turned on automatically, but there's some noticeable jitters in my testing. Also, I noticed that there are some focusing issues while I take videos. Maybe they can fix it in a later update. Selfie camera shots on the other hand are sharp and have great contrast in some photos with commendable shots from its HDR mode. But night selfies are not usable even if you use artificial fill light mode that puts your display brightness cranked up, and also portrait mode shots are a little bit weirder in my testing here. I didn't see some blurry effects on my background on the photos I took that make it look like you're just shooting normal photos here. Eh. And finally, selfie videos is good but only usable for daytime shots or need some artificial lighting if you are in a dim environment. Battery life on the Vivo Y31 is great but not on par on Vivo's claim, especially on gaming. With its 5,000 mAh battery capacity, it's an all-day battery champ with some spare juice left for the next day if you won't use it for heavy tasks. Screen on time on my casual use with Wi-Fi on and 50% brightness is ranging from 9 to 11 hours. And if it's on heavy use like gaming with Wi-Fi and 50% brightness, it ranges from 6 hours to 8 hours. Charging the Vivo Y31 on the other hand is fast but not as fast as the competition at around 2 hours 20 minutes. But I'm still thankful that I can charge this phone every other day. So now, I laid it out all of the things I noticed and experienced on this phone. I will answer the question that I said in the intro a while ago. Did Vivo execute their Y31 phone very well with its given price and specs? At 12,999 pesos or around 256 US dollars, you may think twice and look for other competitor brands that have the same processor but it's more affordable, or the same price but has more features that this phone is missing. But like what I said in every phone reviews and buying guides, it will depend on your preference on what you're looking for in a phone. Yes, it still uses a dewdrop notch, it doesn't have 5G nor high refresh rate screen, and the audio booster feature on its speaker is mediocre at best. But if you're a smartphone user that wants to have the best gaming experience, doesn't want to have too many unusable apps on their phone, and wants to have a protection for your phone, especially on their screen, if you're a clumsy person, then this phone is not for you. That said, however, if you're a user that prioritizes a decent display that is usable outdoors and for video watching, a bigger battery that can last all day, one smooth performance that can able to keep up with your daily grind and have a great daylight photos that you can share online, then the Vivo Y31 is the best pick for its price and for your daily needs. And if you want to watch my other videos, you can check my playlist right here or my recent video right here. Finally, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Again, my name is James and I will see you guys on the next one.